Welcome back to Growing Out Loud. I am so grateful you are here. I am so grateful you have taken the time to join me today. We are growing out loud together. We're continuing this journey and we're doing it in real time because let me tell you, recording the podcast, me growing out loud. It is me stepping out of my comfort zone when every part of me is saying, nah, leave it, doesn't matter. There's a million podcasts out there. What are you going to do? But I have a really unique message to share. It's my own experience. So nobody else can do it but me. So I need to get out there. I need to push past the inner discomfort. Now, it wasn't always the way that I was able to do this. And I've just learned over the years to do it more and more successfully. And I still have to talk myself into things. I've just learned some tools along the way that allow me to do it with more freedom, with more ease, that allows me to do it with faith, that allows me to move through life and life's challenges without being challenged by them all the time. So today I wanted to talk to you about the thing that's really stuck with me and something I remind myself of every single day, including today, as I hit record and join you on this podcast. And that thing that we've got to understand is that you are not who you think you are, yet who you think you are is creating your results and your life and your reality. And you can always upgrade, up level, update who you think you are. I'm going to talk about one of the most fundamental beliefs that I have, and that is that we are spiritual beings. That we are spiritual beings having a human experience, a physical experience. Now, as cliche as that sounds, I think that resonates with us all because ultimately the truth resonates. It resonates with your deepest part because the deepest part of you is truth. So fundamentally, I believe that we are spiritual beings, and the longer we continue our journey together, the more I'm going to expand on that, because this path that I've taken took me down avenues of quantum mechanics, of metaphysical science, of brain science, neuroscience, about human behavior. That they're the avenues I've been down, and they are the things that I have applied to myself and shifted my life. It's almost unrecognizable today compared to where I was 9 years ago. And that is because I changed the way I think about myself. But I understood how I got to a place where I thought the things that I did, that I wasn't good enough, that I wasn't smart enough, that I wasn't capable, that I was a problem, and that I think too different. And the fact that I can't conform, or that I don't conform to societal, familial, or cultural norms. I thought there was something wrong with me because I struggled with authority. I thought there was something wrong with me because I'm a high school dropout. And I allowed all these thoughts to build within me and build an identity within me around who I thought I was. So when I started to have these conversations and I started to do this studying, I realized I've been carrying around this idea about who I think I am. And I can bet my bottom dollar that you have done the same. We go through life thinking we are our thoughts. We go through life thinking everything we think is the truth. But it can't be, because your truth is somebody else's false. Might be a truth for you for now. But when you shift it, it becomes a different truth. It becomes a different idea. So how did we get to a place where we think we are who we think we are today? Where is this identity that we've built ourselves? Where has it come from? Ultimately, we are going through our adulthood metaphorically in the same clothes as we did as a child. And what do I mean by that? We develop a self-image, a self-concept, a self-identity of ourselves around the age of 7. So from the ages of 0 to 7, we have built up an identity of who we think we are. And who we think we are is based on everyone else's ideas for us and everyone else's ideas of how they think the world works. Because when you're born with your subconscious mind wide open, and into it goes the beliefs that are surrounding you. You might not be aware or consciously even understanding any of this, because you wouldn't be until your cognitive faculties developed when you were 7. But you are absorbing all the beliefs, all the habits, all the ideas about how the world works, how hard you have to work, how hard it is to earn money, what you should believe for yourself, how you think you should function in society, etc., etc. All of these things are drilled into you. And then you hit your teenage years, but you've got this self-image that you built in childhood, and you're trying to navigate your teen years, which are already challenging enough as it is, and you feel at loggerheads with your old identity and your new identity. And then you go through your adulthood, beyond adolescence, and you are still trying to navigate this new experience of life as an adult at uni, or as a homeowner, or as a partner. But you've still got the ideas that you have had since you were young. And those ideas, that self-image, that self-identity, it creates the ceiling for what you actually will allow yourself to move toward. Or once you even hit your top ceiling, you'll stay there because it's comfortable. It's what your whole physiology knows. It's what your whole being knows. Because that's what you've set for yourself based on an identity that you're unconscious to. So you don't even know that there's a floor above where you are right now. I didn't know that this was possible. I went through life thinking, you're kind of a loser. You've made nothing of life. And now you're depressed, and you've been depressed for 15 years. I just had this awful dialogue going on within me. Of course I went through life miserable because I was talking to myself miserably. I was telling myself all these untruths. So what about you? Where are your beliefs showing up? How are they showing up? What are they stopping you from doing? How long have they been stopping you from doing the things that you want to do? Or have you found yourself reaching a certain level, wanting to go to the next level, but for whatever reason, you're stuck at the same place, you've plateaued? Or do you believe that you can only have a certain level of success? My God, I thought that I had exhausted all my happy options because I disregarded cultural norms and societal norms, and I chose the man I wanted to marry, and I thought, that's my lot. That is as happy as I'm destined to be. Still with this guy 23 years later, love him to pieces, but I thought that was it. I thought I'd exhausted it. I'd exhausted my happy supply from the universe. And that's not true. I believed that that was it. It wasn't until I started to shift it and understand that actually I can believe anything I want and achieve anything I want. What about you? Where are your beliefs holding you back? I had a client I was speaking to last week. So we're talking about what she'd like to manifest. And we'll talk about the truth of manifestation as we go along. But she was talking about wanting to manifest a new home. And in the same breath, unconsciously, because a lot of our beliefs are unconscious, below conscious awareness, she told me all the reasons for why she believed she couldn't have the home she wanted. And it was based upon an idea of what she had seen her family experience over time. And she had no idea that that was the idea that was sabotaging her moving forward and getting the house that she wants. Yet she's a 5-figure a month earner. She has an incredible family. She has an amazing business. She has a wonderful community. But she still had this self-sabotaging idea. She thinks that she is a certain person. And that certain person is creating her results. I thought I was a bit of a loser. I thought that I was overweight. And I've still got some ways to go. I've lost like 4 stone. They were all ideas in my head. Ask yourself how often you talk to yourself based on an identity, a conversation that you have with yourself based on the ideas of what other people have told you to accept. And ask yourself, would you choose the beliefs that you have today over again? And if not, how are you going to go about changing them? We cannot change something we're not aware of. But once we become aware, it's up to us to do the work to change it. But you can't become unaware. Once you see something, you can't unsee it. You will notice a direct link to how you're thinking and how you're feeling and how that is being returned to you by the universe. And once you just step in and change 1 or 2 thoughts, just notice. You'll notice that how you feel changes and the things around you change. One of the things that I started when I began my journey was to journal. In fact, I have one right here on my desk. Was to journal. And I would journal. I started journaling the thoughts that I had. The thoughts that led me down a path of depression. You're not good enough, you can't, you're not able to, you've never been able to, and all of that stuff. Then I asked myself, where did this come from? Oh, that person said it to me then. Oh yeah, I remember when the high school teacher told you you're dumb. All of these things. And then I asked myself, is this true every day? Is this true of my now? Is this the only experience I've had? And then I asked myself, do these thoughts match who it is I'd like to be? If I don't want to be depressed, and I don't want to be anxious, and I don't want to be unsuccessful, then do these thoughts match that? No? Then I started to go about thinking about where I wanted to go instead. How do I want to feel? What do I want to do? And bit by bit by bit, everything changed. And the first place to begin is who you think you are. Is to begin with your identity. Because change can't happen from an outside experience. It cannot happen for you getting a new car or you getting an upgrade or you having more money. That's not where the shifts come from. True permanent change comes from your inner identity, who you see yourself to be on the inside. That is what's projected outwards. So tap in to who you think you are, how that's mirrored in your results, and then go about thinking, okay, so what kind of thoughts do I really want to be thinking? What type of thoughts does that version of me, what type of thoughts would that version of me think? The version of me that has what I want. When you do that, when you become conscious to that, you'll see how much you've been in your own head and how it's all within you to change it. It's mind-blowing when you realize you've been your own companion for so long, but you've been unaware. There's this idea that we need to get rid of the ego mind, which is the part of you which is conditioned to feel, think, and act the way you do. And there is no getting rid of the ego. There's becoming aware of it and understanding that it's going to be your ego identity, because the universe would never have given you an ego, a self-awareness, if you weren't meant to become self-aware. So maybe put a metaphorical arm around your ego and understand it's going to be your ego self that drives you forward to get out of bed, to go do the things, to start the podcast. You'll learn how to talk to yourself, all the different parts of you, ego self, higher self, God self. You'll understand how to communicate with your conscious mind and subconscious mind, but you'll understand it bit by bit by bit, and you'll put it all together and you'll be like, oh my gosh, there's this whole new upper level waiting for me. It is really, truly right there. So start today with, what have I been thinking? How long have I been thinking this way? Where is my mind? Come back. Think about where you want to go. Check in with how you're feeling. Let's develop that awareness, because awareness is the key to everything. So I hope this gave you a little bit of insight into you and into where you can begin and how you can start to shift. Because my friend, if you make the time and take the time to do this, I promise you your life will be unrecognizable, because mine is truly. So that's what I wish for you. That's what I wish for you. I wish for you to experience the transformation and the expansion that is actually your birthright. You were born with infinite potential within you. The world told you to go to sleep to it. And we're just waking back up to it now. And we're doing it together. We're doing it together. That's my dog, you can hear. You can probably see him in the mirror as well. We're doing it together. I wish you peace and blessings in all things. I will see you in the next episode. Until then, stay blessed and pay attention. Whatever we pay attention to, we give more energy to. What we give more energy to, we grow into our life. I'll see you next time. Stay blessed. Mwah.